All of this is about freedom. Freedom for everybody, not people in Texas, not just black people, but all people. Freedom is what Juneteenth's about. My name is Opal Lee, and I'm known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. Oh, besides other things, I helped start a food bank. And then I got a farm, 13 acres. I taught third grade 25 years. And then I became this counselor or visiting teacher, another 25 years. But somewhere along the line, I began to think at about 89 years old that I hadn't done enough, that there was something else I should have been doing.
Hello, I am Dion Sims. I am the founder and president of Unity Unlimited, Inc., and I'm also the granddaughter of the grandmother of Juneteenth. My grandmother hadn't really thought about Juneteenth at a national level. She was just glad to be the big fish in her little pond, right here in Fort Worth, making sure Fort Worth celebrated Juneteenth. When she got introduced to Dr. Ronald Myers in the late 90s, he introduced her to the concept of why Juneteenth needed to be a national holiday and how much it would help the nation come together around celebrating the freedom that it represented.
Dr. Ronald Myers is responsible for 42 of the 50 states having some type of Juneteenth celebration. People have got to remember his contribution, because he should be called the father of Juneteenth, even though we've been celebrating for years and years. But Doc put us on the map.
In 2016, still hadn't been made a national holiday. And I remember when she came to tell me, Juneteenth of 2016, she says, Dion, I want to walk to Washington, D.C. I want to talk to President Obama. Okay, we just can't write a letter? Well, I think that, if I walk to D.C., I'll get a chance to bring awareness to Juneteenth being a national holiday. Now, this is someone that's now 89.
I decided that if I walk from Fort Worth to Washington, D.C., somebody would take notice.
So I put a plan together. First thing you do is you go to Google and you say Fort Worth to Washington, D.C., and you choose the little man walking. And I saw it was 1,440 miles. I said, Grandier, Obama will be out of office by the time you get there. Oh, I'm not going to have to walk that long. I'm not going to have to walk that long. He's going to see it and he's going to call me. He's not going to make me walk that long.
It took 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation for the slaves to be freed. So, to symbolize that 2.5 years, I would walk 2.5 miles. And I walked from Fort Worth to Arlington and Grand Prairie and Dallas and Chapel and Box Spring. Some company had said that they would give us the use of an RV, but they changed their mind. They decided what I was doing was too political.
And I said, well, are we stopping? She said, no. I'll call Dr. Ronald Myers. The plan to go all the way to the Capitol isn't working out. He says, let me call all the Juneteenth directors in the various states, and they will invite her out, and she can walk in their cities.
But people were so nice to me. They'd give me a ride from Shreveport to Texarkana to Little Rock to St. Louis to Denver, Colorado Springs. I mean, I was all over the place.
We planned to be in D.C. on the 10th of January. I had invited President Obama to walk with her from Frederick Douglass House to the Capitol. Mark Vesey set up a press conference for her in the rotunda and everything. And that was the day that Obama went to say goodbye in Chicago.
And I didn't get what I wanted, but I didn't give up.
In 2019, we launched her petition for Juneteenth to be made a national holiday. And with that, all the way through 19 and 20, kind of got maybe 10,000 signatures. When George Floyd was murdered, the nation went into mode of there has to be a way to acknowledge that Black lives matter. There were a lot of petitions started about that time for Juneteenth to be a national holiday. But she already had one out there from 2019, so folks found it. The time of George Floyd's murder at the end of May till towards the beginning of June, we had 80,000 signatures on her. By the time we go to deliver to DC, we had 1.5 million signatures.
We took them to Congress, and we were prepared to take that many more when we got a call to go to the White House that President Biden was going to sign a bill to make Juneteenth a national holiday. Oh, wow. All those congressmen and congress ladies and the president and the vice president, I tell you, I was humbled. I was so pleased. I wanted to do a holy dance, but the kids say I'm twerking when I think of a holy dance.
I was like, so Saturday, do we actually have to walk the 2.5 miles since we got the holiday? And she said, yes. I said, we can't put you in a golf cart? No, I'm walking. It's my victory lap.
And other people are beginning to join us. Seeing that many people walking in different locations, it tells us that people are beginning to get a feel for the things that we're advocating, getting a feel for being in a group with others and learning about them. People of different nationalities. Oh my goodness.
What a momentous day. Miss Opal just signified what it means to walk 2.5 miles to freedom. In 110-degree heat, nothing will stop Miss Opal.
This has been wonderful.
Yeah.
And you did it. And we're going to do some other things.
God bless you. Woo! God bless
You know, Juneteenth is freedom.
you. God bless you.
And I'm advocating that we celebrate freedom from the 19th
Lord.
of
Thank
June to the 4th of July.
Yes,
We're going to be building the National Juneteenth Museum where the old Fort Worth Juneteenth Museum was hosted. And the goal of the National Juneteenth Museum is to be able for everybody to find themselves in the Juneteenth story. Emancipation all across this country came at various different times. And it's going to be up to the National Juneteenth Museum to give everybody a voice to tell their story.
On the 19th of June in 1939, my parents had bought a house on Annie Street, and my mom had it fixed up so nice. A mob of whites who didn't want us in their neighborhood began to gather.
They had only been in that house 4 days. The realtor didn't tell my great-grandmother, you know, this is a predominantly white neighborhood. And they were just interested in their commission.
And the paper says there were about 500 of them, and that the police were there and they couldn't control the mob. When my dad came home with a gun, the police told him if he busted a cat, they'd let that mob have us. So our parents sent us to friends several blocks away. They left under cover of darkness. Those people tore that place asunder. They drug the furniture out and burned it. They did despicable things.
She started wanting that land again. We searched TAD, you know, we made phone calls to whoever was on record. It was Habitat for Humanity that owned the land now. And so we contacted it, and she served on Habitat's board, land commission. So she went and asked her friends at Habitat if she could purchase that land, and they told her no. We're going to give it to you. We're going to give you that land. And so she's going to have a house built on that land, and Habitat's going to help her build a house on that land. So we get to come full circle, coming back to, in her lifetime, seeing something that was taken away from her family now being restored back to her family, to her. And it's going to be a neat thing. So when we have the ribbon cutting and the housewarming or whatever we have, it's going to be neat because now her family does now get to stay at the place where her parents had bought a house in 1939.
Our job's not finished. The fact that we have Juneteenth as a national holiday really isn't all of it. You see, there's so many disparities that need to be addressed. There's joblessness and homelessness and health care that some of us can get and others can't. And climate change that we are responsible for. So there's so much more that has to be done. And we can't rest on our laurels. We've simply got to keep on walking and keep on talking to get the people to understand.
When we talk about Juneteenth, you've got to talk about the fact of what it represents. And again, Juneteenth represents freedom. You'll hear Ms. Opal say it all the time, Juneteenth is not about Black people. It's not a Texas thing. It's not just about freedom from slavery. It's freedom in every area of our lives. It's about education. It's about pulling yourself up from your bootstraps. It's about making decisions financially, about your health, all right? You know, getting the needed information to make better choices, empowering the individual. And so when we celebrate Juneteenth, we're celebrating all those components.
Even to this day, people would say, Blacks have come a long way, and we have. But there's so many things. And so I advocate each one teach one. Our Bible tells us that we are our brother's keeper. So we ought to get busy doing something for the man who's in the street, for the person who can't find a job, for people who are just lost. We need to do something.
I think one of the things that is really neat about celebrating Juneteenth is that it is an invitation for folks to everybody, Black, white, brown, yellow, to come and understand our heritage and our culture and find themselves in the freedom story.
So I guess I would leave this with everybody who's listening, that we should be a committee of one to change somebody's mind, to be sure that we can change folk from hating to loving. That ought to be what we should do.